Hey, hello there, RJB here from RJB TV, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm delivering some Leebokgu against Doromi. It's going to be a single game, maybe two, maybe three, who knows. There's only one way to find out, and that's by jumping into the action. And in addition to that, after I introduce the players, I've got a small little announcement to make. So let's look at the names on the board. We've got Nambu here on the bottom right of the map. He's known as Doromi. Former professional player going by the name Tinkle. He played in ASL Season 6 or 7, not too sure, but it's one of those two here on the Green Terran. Terran is his main race, so I've got high expectations from him to really show off what skills he's got here on the Terran. And then we've got Leebokgu here on the name Next Soul, here on the White Protoss. It's a cross-map situation, so this is going to be probably a slightly longer game than usual, because when they're on a cross-map, it just takes so much time to start attacking. The defender has the advantage in these long-range games. So, the small announcement that I want to make. First, I want to explain why I have not been making as many videos over the past week as I usually do. And that is largely because it is very, very hot over the past week or two. It's been very hot outside. The temperatures have been high, and the room I usually sit in when I cast my games, it gets particularly hot. Like, particularly hot. The sun is shining on this room from sunrise until sundown. The entire day, the scorching hot sun is heating up this room, turning it into an oven. So I relocated to the living room, but the living room usually pretty much always has someone else there as well, so I'm not there on my own. So I don't have the privacy to comfortably cast a game like I am doing right now, because right now it's a little bit colder. It started raining today, so the temperature dropped a little bit, so now I'm comfortable sitting in this room that is usually very, very hot. I did take off all my clothes because it's getting hot in here, but you won't notice that I'm sitting here almost butt naked. Okay, so that aside, in addition to that, I've also been busy preparing to move to a new apartment, because I finally found a new apartment, and I'm gonna get the keys next week, and then I'm gonna start, I'm not sure what they call it in English, I kind of forgot the word, but I'm gonna start preparing the house, the apartment, to look like what I want it to look like painting, buying appliances, furniture, redecorating, all that kind of stuff. It's gonna be happening in 10 days, so I might not be making any videos for a week or two at that point. It depends on how much time it's going to cost me to get everything in order as I want it to be. So now that all aside, let's focus on the game. Both players have found out that it's a cross-map situation. Look at here, he's Leebokgu marching into the base. We have Doromi, who went for command center first into triple barracks. Risky opening, but in a cross-map situation, that is perfectly fine. He's not going to feel this one. He's not going to feel the bad things from this build order. He's just going to feel the good things, because there's nothing attacking him at all. Leebokgu went for Nexus first as well, into a Forge Gateway, into a Choke, into double gas, into a Cyber Corridor in the back. This is the most standard stuff you can get from a cross-map corner spawn situation. Both players are going to focus on building up their economy and then hit each other very hard, but there's a small little chance that Leebokgu might go for something like Dark Templars here to try and catch Nambu, Doromi, off guard. Now, usually Doromi goes for a very fast factory build order, but he's going for triple barracks instead. That is kind of interesting to me. I really did expect him to go for a double factory opening, but it's the economy version of the barracks opening build order. Engineering bay, they're already on the way. That's a very fast engineering bay, faster than usual. Second gas is a little bit delayed, a little bit slower than usual. Academy, they're finished up getting his stim, getting his no medics yet. No medics yet. I really think that Leebokgu is going for Dark Templars here. He's got the, well, maybe he's just going for regular Templars, but he's got the Robo started after the Citadel, and the Templars Archive started before the support bay. So there's the third cannon coming up there. He's putting some Zealots across the map to either run into Doromi's base or just stand outside and keep them there as a warning system. When Doromi moves out, the Zealots are there to spot them, and he's got time to prepare his choke a little bit better, make it a little bit stronger, like throw a gateway here, maybe 2 more cannons as well, all that kind of stuff. So a scan came out from Doromi. Not sure what he scanned, but I assume he scanned the front here to see how many robos there are. Saw only one of them, not two. In the back, support base finished up. We got Templar Storm on the way. 2 Dark Templars on the way. Now the Dark Templars are either going to try to just walk through the front door, or they're going to try to secure the sides and take Doromi's vision of the map away. It's usually the two options Protoss players go for when they make those Dark Templars. They're kind of just there to clean out the map. They don't really do much else. Sometimes they get some cheesy moves going on here and there, but most of the time it really just doesn't work well. Everyone at this level of play is pretty much always prepared for the Dark Templars. So their main function is kind of just taking away vision of the map. Although you might try to drop them inside the base. Usually when they do this, like, I really do not support the use of the Templars at this point into the game. It just never really works out, and it just costs a lot of resources, and it loses the Protoss time, and it gives the Terran time to build up comfortably and get a little bit too big. You can see that he's, trying to find a way in, but there's too many turrets. He's never really going to get in there and unload the Dark Templars safely. It's just not going to work. Scan comes out, he scans the back, sees the Stargate, sees all the technology, and he sees a lot of gateways as well. Very early 5 gateways, very early 6 gateways. He didn't see these 2 though, but he saw these on his row, so that's 4 already. More Dark Temples are on the way as well. Got a drop there coming from the top. This one is just standing there. He might go in when this drop goes in. Try to go for a double drop, one with Dark Templars, one with High Templars. That might be what he's planning on doing. There's a pretty good angle here on the top side. There's no vision on the high ground. We do have Marines in between. Flies in there. Responds a little bit slow. The High Templar unloads, dodges the storm. There's one more High Templar inside. It unloads. It's crawling closer as if he's running to safety, as if it storms a little bit late. It storms a little bit late and misses the storm. So SFV's there, take no damage. High Templar there still alive. The Dark Templars are on the side. He's going to turn him into a Dark Archon, I'm sure. He's going to become a Dark Archon. They have no further use in this game except to slow down and advance from the ROM across the map. Pretty much their only purpose. So there with High Templars. He's actually going to do something pretty cool. I think he's going to send his Courser into the turrets and then send this one in. Like, the Courser is going to take attention away from the shuttles. Like this. Exactly like that. I knew he's going to do that. Starts unloading. Templars on the scene. Storms the Marines. Marines are dodging, but most of the Marines do go down. The Dark Templar's going to finish off those Marines. And the shuttle goes down, so no SCVs go down. Well, actually, one SCV goes down. It was building a supply depot. Everything else stays alive. Does he have a scan? He does have scans. Scans the Dark Templars could take them down. One supply depot got taken down as well, but really nothing troublesome happened here so far. Everything so far has been favoring the ROM. Leebokgu has done no damage at all, although, one SCV, couple Marines, one supply depot, it's some damage, but it's kind of... It falls into the category of not really being anything at all. It's just all been whiffs. He's been whiffing his shots, missing the mark. But that's kind of what happens in these cross-map games. There's just so much time to prepare for the Terran. You're never ever really gonna feel the pain. Not even Mr. Krabs is gonna feel that one. Comes in, triple shuttle, Marines in between, sniping the shuttles. One gets taken down, 2 get taken down, Templar gets sniped as well. And the last remaining shuttle is empty. The ROM is not just gonna let the shuttle slip through like that. As a former professional player, he's not gonna let things just slip through. Not with the very high amount of experience he's built over the years. Like, the ROM has played like 7,000 or 8,000 fastest games. He's pretty much just the fastest game player right now. No longer a professional player, just the fastest game player. And he is arguably one of the best team players in all of fastest. He's really, really quick, really, really smart, and has a micro that really... It just demands respect. Starts unloading on the side, shuttle gets taken down, Templars on the scene, Templar storms, Templar number 2 does not get a chance to storm, but the Zealots are there to clean out those turrets to open a small little hole that is going to let Leebokgu run right in there. Mind control is on the way there in the back, so is recall. He's going to try to recall an SCV across the map. That is what he believes his best opportunity and chance at victory. Because right now, Doromi, 76 SCVs, we're 10 minutes in. He's largely been unharmed. It's just been impossible to fly those shuttles through. And you can see it. Leebokgu has been focusing on building a big production base, even went for triple nexus. He's got observatory there finished in the back. Arbiter is in the air, ready to start recalling the SCV that he wants to send in there. Scan comes down. He saw Dark Archon. Sees it being picked up. Saw all of this here on the side as well. We have carriers being prepared. He's got maxed out supply. Drop on the bottom corner. Templars killing the Marines, but dodging. But now a frontal attack happening. There's a small little hole in the wall. We have tanks on the high ground. So this should never really break through, although we do have the Arbiter, and we have some shuttles in the mix as well that might unload on the high ground to kill the tanks. He's going to break through. There's the Dark Archon. Gets no SCVs. Does not get an SCV because the SCVs were too far away. Storming on the tanks, very well done, but more tanks on the high ground there. He's going to clean out a lot of units though. Kills 3 depots, gets the ROM supply block, kills some tanks, kills some Marines. He got something done. But it's not much. The supply counts are the same, but Doromi has to rebuild his supply depots, and that is going to take a while, so Leebokgu will max out before Doromi. So now there's a small little window of time for Leebokgu to do some damage during the time that Doromi is supply block, but I don't think Leebokgu knows that Doromi is supply block. He doesn't know what we know. He doesn't know what we know. He just doesn't. He's going to try again. Zeldir on the side. Going to unload that on the high ground, probably. Got the Arbiter on the side. He's going to recall, or is he going to stasis on the side? Oh, storms on the tank. Cheeky little move. Cheeky little move. Big drop on the side. How many shuttles are in there? 5. And of course, 6 shuttles actually. That's a lot. Flies in. Starts unloading on the bottom corner. Pretty good choice. Pretty good choice. Going to take down his entire bottom corner and open up a pathway for the Dark Templar, probably for the Dark Templar, and then try to mind control an SCV. He's going to go in with the Arbiter. Going with the Arbiter. It's going to be a recall, or is it gonna? What's it going to be? It's going to be a recall. It's going to be a recall, my friends. Right there on top of the command center, unloads, starts to storm, and hits all the SCVs. Most of them do. Some of them get away. About half of them. Nope. Correction. Yeah, actually, exactly half of the SCVs make their way out of there. Command Center is going to stay alive. Most of the Zealots did go down. Temples are morphing into Archons. Going to clean them out, clean house, and then recover from that economic devastation that just hit the nation in preparation of the future of this battle. Dark Archon there still waiting in the back. Has nothing to do. Just waiting there, sitting there. The shield is empty. We have a nice little amount of gateways. We have about 6 stargates. He's building mass arbiters, mass reavers. He's got some plans in his mind, and those plans are not yet carriers. He's preparing for carriers in the future. He's got a fleet beacon. He's got upgrades that are coming along. He's got upgrades for ground as well. Well, actually, no upgrades for ground yet. He's got a level 3 attack, 0 armor, 0 shield. He's gonna have to get those shields up for the carriers in the future. They're a little bit important. Another frontal attack. The wall has been destroyed, has not been rebuilt. Tanks are waiting there, ready to get stormed by Templars. Storms from the high ground, storms from the front, but everything does go down a little bit too quick. There's nothing to protect the Templars or take fire away. So he does, kill a small little amount of tanks, but doesn't get in too deep. It's just a shallow penetration of the frontal opening. Didn't go in too deep. He wish he could, but couldn't quite go in all the way. So now we're waiting for another big attack. Shuttles are on the bottom, flying. 5 of them. We have Reavers and some High Templars, Zealots inside. The bottom corner has been plucked up, so this is not really going to get in. Maybe he's going to unload on top of those tanks. He turns around because Valkyries are on the scene. Oh, Valkyries have found their prey. Turns one shuttle around to distract. That's smart, actually, that's smart. If you can somewhat pinpoint which shuttle is getting targeted, you can just turn one around and save the rest. All gets taken down. Leebokgu's attempts at Dorom's life have not been very successful so far. Which now gives us yet again a small little bit of time to breathe. And I'm gonna have a sip of my drink. Delicious. It's just plain water. Just plain old, good old water in a glass sitting there. It's cold though, it's cold. Like cold water, it's refreshing. It's in one of those longer glasses. It's just perfect. The acidity in the water is just at the point where I want it to be. It's not too much, not too little. There's a little bit of flavor in there. And do keep in mind the tap water in the Netherlands is very high quality. There's no chloride in there. It's just pure high quality water. It's very clean and highly filtered. It has the perfect texture. It just hits your tongue and you're like, this is pure bliss hitting my tongue. I wish I could have sex with this water. But, you know, water does not provide a lot of friction. It does not work. Okay, so the tanks, Zealots are on the middle, trying to get through. Arbiters are waiting in the back. He's got like 400 energy on the Arbiter, so that's a lot of stasis, but putting everything into stasis doesn't really work because then you kill nothing at all. Arbiters in the back, Valkyries shooting, recalls some Reavers in the front, scans it immediately. That's a very quick scan. That's a very quick scan, and that plan from Leebokgu looked cute, but it did not really do much. It slows the ROM down, that's important. It slows down his advancement across the map, but nothing actually... We're still in a stalemate. Both players are in a stalemate. I wouldn't say a stalemate, actually, I'd say they're just on equal terms at the moment, equal footing. The clock is ticking and the ROM has a big base. A lot of factories, a lot of production, a lot of money, and a lot of upgrades for everything that he's got. He's on 2-2 already. He's got Leebokgu on 0-0-3, getting armor and shield level 1, soon finishing up. Shola there on the side. Some Templars inside. Storming on the tanks from the high ground. Very smart choice. Means that the high Templars cannot get focused until they storm. Although actually there's a vision from the Valkyrie, so yeah, they can just get hit. Like they're not invisible. Not invisible. And... once again, slows down the ROM, buys himself time to build more cannons, to set up more Reavers, to slow down the push. The Valkyries are doing a great job sniping shuttles, although shuttles are coming over the bottom side, but we have so many turrets. We got vision from the engineering bay, starts unloading on the hillside there, starts to go for the recall, starts to go for the mind control, but the SCVs got pulled away. The ROM is on fire. He knew that a mind control was gonna happen at some point, so he pulls the SCVs away to the minerals, not giving Leebokgu the chance to mind control. This very aware play here from the ROM that I rarely ever see. I rarely ever see anyone properly protecting against mind control. But that was a smart, good move. That might have just saved the game for the ROM. Again, another attempt at pushing back those tanks and to buy more time. The tanks are almost on maxed out upgrades. Same for the air. 1-2, 2-2. Zealots have level 1 armor and shield finished up right now, so they are a little bit stronger than before. 1 armor, 1 shield. And level 2 should be on the way very soon. Air is on 2, 1, 2, 2 armor to attack, soon on 3, 3. Carriers would be a really good choice here. But does he have enough time to build carriers? That's the big question. Does he have enough time to prepare the carrier special? Does he have enough time? If he can finish all those cannons, he might have enough time. Another Dark Archon morphing. He's not taking care of the vision on the sides. He's not taking care of the vision on the sides. So drops won't really ever reach destination. There's just so much vision all over the place. Just getting in that backside is not gonna work. You can't just slide in there and start messing the place up. It's just not gonna happen. Corsairs, though, taking down the Valkyries. Valkyries were their primary method of dealing with shuttle drops, so if those are gone, shuttle drops might actually get through by the virtue of not getting killed in time. But actually, there might be a chance, there is a small chance, shuttles will arrive on location. The question then is going to be, will the SCVs still be there, or will they have retreated to a safer location? There's just a lot of small little fighting happening here with Zealots running in to slow down the ROM and the ROM pushing forward to kill the Zealots. But the cannons are warping in and there's more of them coming up. We've got more Arbiters being built there in the back. Arbiters have not really achieved too much except 1 recall that did kill a lot of Zealots, SCVs. That's some good disruption webs there though. That's some good disruption webs. Valkyries pushing the shuttles away. Shuttles are... There's some units in there. There's some units in there. He might unload them on this at some point. Teleports get some good storms off. The upgrades are soon on 3-3. Should be in like 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 seconds. Not 5, 3 seconds. I did say within 5 seconds, so that could be from like 1 second or 5 seconds. So I was kind of correct, just, you know, a little bit off the mark. Very important little detail here is sending those zealots in between the tanks, not just attacking the frontal line, but sending them in deeper and deeper so that the zealots get a surround on the tanks and more tanks hit other tanks than if you only just attack move. Yeah, the push is once again commencing. The ROM is gaining ground, the Leebokgu is losing ground. We still have no carriers on the map, it's just this one base from Leebokgu. That's kind of the one thing Leebokgu is weak at. He kind of gets stuck on one single base with not that much production capability. He does have a lot of diversity in his base. Like he's got every single little bit of technology in his base. He's got a couple of gateways. I'd say this is about 6. Now we have about 7. So that's only 13 gateways against a 20 factory. Terran. Oh, kills it just in time. There's no SCVs here on the top side either. Forces coming in. He's gonna throw them away. He's just gonna throw them away. What's the plan here? He's just gonna throw them away for supply, I guess. No longer wants his toys. He wants new toys. The Corsair toys, useless, stupid. Get out of here. I want different kinds of toys. Carriers, to be exact. He wants carriers. New toys are being built. Because he's realizing that his method of attack is not really working out too well. Gets a good stasis, but you know, our Valkyrie's coming in. Arbor's gonna die. That mine drag there, though, is beautiful. The stasis on the Valkyries also highly successful. Arbiter tries to get away, and it will get away. There's not much damage to be dealt by those 2 Valkyries against a 3 armor Arbiter. Actually, gets it. He gets it. Okay, that was... It's just 2 Valkyries, but the damage was really, really high. Maybe it's the level 3 attack upgrade that just does the trick. Okay, now we have a strong Doromi with maxed out upgrades pushing into the map. Leebokgu, still only on 2-2 armor and shield, not yet getting level 3. He's not yet getting level 3, but he's focusing on the carriers instead. 3 are finished up, 4 more on the way. He has only 7 start gates. Might have to add on 2 more or 4 more so that he can produce an entire army, an entire group of carriers at a time. Doromi with a very strong push across the map. I still don't see a mind-controlled SCV, so that plan definitely did not succeed. And Doromi is looking really strong. There's vision everywhere. His economy is in great shape. A lot of gas, a lot of minerals. He is not mining from the top gas, so he's only using 9 of them, but he only needs 9. He could even go by with only 8. As a Terran, you really don't lose units that much, because tanks are very cost efficient as a ground force. Not against carriers, and there's quite a good amount of carriers. The Arbiter got one final stasis off on the Valkyrie, so the carriers can kind of just march forward and kill the tanks really easily. We do have some Goliaths on the scene, but they're having trouble shooting across the hill onto those carriers, so some tanks will go down, and there's only like 5 Goliaths. Those Goliaths are not going to win the fight. Looks like tanks are going to die. Our Templars are in between as well. So it looks like Leebokgu will buy himself. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to buy himself enough time. I just don't know. The Goliath count keeps growing. More Goliaths keep coming from across the map. Storm comes down on the Valkyries. The Valkyries do not contribute much, but they do contribute something. 2 carriers went down. 3 carriers already dead and gone. Doromi is pushing forward very strongly. Very impressively. Decisively. He knows exactly what his limits are, and he's pushing himself towards that limit. He's pushing himself towards the limit, although he might have pushed a little bit too far because everything is dying. Everything has actually died. It's all balling up there back at home. All balling up there back at home. So he has to wait for another wave of units to arrive, which is going to give Leebokgu some time to prepare himself for the battle that is waiting to happen within the next 1 or 2 minutes. Zealots is going to have to get thrown away for some more supply space. They were just built to kill those tanks and Goliaths, and now they're going to get thrown away and replaced by something more cost efficient than Zealot. Something with more diversity, maybe Templars, maybe Carriers, maybe Arbiters, maybe Dark Templars, maybe Corsairs. I just don't know what he's going to go for next. It's all possible, it's all viable. So there's raids on the map. Raids are killing Zealots. He's building a lot more raids, and in response to the raids we have Observers being built here from Leebokgu. He's got Corsairs being built as well, because Corsairs are very, very strong against raids. Raids die very, very quick. So he's coming forward. He's going to aim at the raids. He's going to try to snipe the Arbiter. Arbiter, please. It's hard to target fire on an Arbiter that's hiding behind Corsairs. So he doesn't actually kill the second Arbiter, only gets the first one. And the Corsairs kill the raids really quick, but now Goliaths on the ground are target firing on the Carriers, sniping the Observers, sniping the Carriers. Carrier 1 goes down, Carrier 2 goes down as well. We have about... It survived. The stasis came down just on time. Look at the health on that Carrier, 33 health. 2 more shots, it would have gone down. Which now, of course, means that the ROM has to retreat back into the middle. We have Leebokgu pushing forward and repelling the attack yet again. So he's getting a couple more Stargates to fill out the remaining space in his base. He didn't get more gateways, but just a couple more Stargates might do the trick. We have another wave of Corsairs coming in. Raids are discontinued. He's going back to Valkyries. The raids just really are terrible against the Corsair army here in the air. So Goliath pushing forward. Gets his own Goliath out of stasis. Has Reavers on the ground. Disruption webs from the Corsairs, highly effective. Has to step out of it. Dark Templars on the ground as well. It's so difficult to push through this. It's so difficult to push through this choke point where there's Carriers, Templars, Reavers, and in Corsairs with Disruption webs slowing you down. He might not ever actually get through. He might not ever actually get through here. But ROM pushing strongly. Pushing very strongly, starts constructing turrets for detection and for anti-air. Turrets are great against interceptors, but it's just one SCV, so probably just there for detection as he's marching forward deeper and deeper. But the Carrier control is good, and small amounts of Zealots keep spawning and attacking the Goliaths, which also forces the tanks to hit the own Goliaths with splash damage. It's just very difficult to push through. More SCVs arriving. More turrets gonna get built, but not enough Goliaths to sustain. Not enough Goliaths to sustain the push for now. Valkyries in the back though. But the Corsairs in the air. Goliaths firing on whatever. Valkyries get taken down there by... Oh, he gets the mind control. Did he get it? Where's the mind control? Did he get it? I don't think the SCV survived. I don't think it survived. It just got taken down immediately because it was right in the middle of the entire enemy army. Oh, wait, whoa. He got it. That was very quick. That was a very quick recall. He recalled that one so damn fast, I didn't even see the recall itself. So he's got the SCV in the back. He's got the mind-controlled army, but he's pushing forward. The game might just end before Leebokgu gets his own tanks. Although Reavers spawning, Goliaths are very bad against Reavers, but Carriers are bad against all of the Goliaths and Valkyries. So there's a little bit of a very interesting unit composition going on that we don't often see. Carriers and Reavers with Arbiters against Goliaths and tanks. Very difficult composition to push against. Very difficult composition to push against. This small narrow pathway. How do you advance with Reavers waiting in the front, Carriers killing tanks, Reavers killing Goliaths? And the command center is almost finished up. So that is the risk you take when you pull SCVs across the map to build turrets. The enemy can do a mind control recall that they've been waiting for 28 minutes, and that might just turn the game. So very good little row of Reavers standing there at perfect distance. How is he gonna push forward? Look at this. The Goliaths go forward, they die. They just instantly die. Reavers are so extremely strong. You might need some tanks right here, but then the carriers kill those tanks across the hill. So how do you break this puzzle? It's a puzzle at this point. How do you solve this puzzle? Although he also needs more money. He's got too few SCVs to sustain his economy and his production. He's building a couple of them actually. He's going to go back to about 70, I assume. Whereas Leebokgu can sustain himself for a long time on 58 probes because he's got the carriers, and the reavers are very cost efficient. You're just making interceptors, just making scarabs, very cost efficient. Protoss is the most cost efficient race with those reavers, arbiters, and carriers. It's only like 6 carriers, but he's making it work. So, tanks on the side, reavers gonna get taken down, more carriers spawning in the back as if he finished up the barracks, building command center number 2. Got a factories on the way on the side. Got this waiting here on the side. Not sure what the purpose is of those tanks. He needs them right here, right now. He needs this right here to offset that push. See, I've got some fears going on now. I fear that Leebokgu is going to finish construction of his factories. I've got some real fears right here. He just needs space for machine shops. Like, he can build the factories, but he needs more space for machine shops. This one can build machine shops. So he's coming in with a big tank army. Reavers have been taken down. One more there in the back. Got triple height Templar with a lot of energy winning the storm. Tanks in front get stormed 3 times for one single tank. He actually just had to push these tanks right here into this choke point and push really hard. But he needs more Valkyries, more Goliaths. Because now we have a good amount of carriers yet again. 9 of them. We have 8 Corsairs. 2 more on the way. It's going to be a very big, strong composition. We've got Arbiters being built as well. And 3 more carriers in production. Going to be 13 carriers in total. Actually, make it 12. Correction. 12 carriers in total. He's got too many tanks. He's got way too many tanks. He needed more tanks against the Reavers, but now the Reavers are dead and gone. And the amount of carriers is higher again. So now he needs more Goliaths and Valkyries again. So Doromi has just the wrong units. Well, he has the right units, but in the wrong amounts every single time. Because Leebokgu keeps switching back and forth between a strong ground composition into a strong air composition. And both of those need different units to deal with them. Disruption webs though, party pooping for those Goliaths. They came in all hot and cool, trying to take down carriers, but nope, you can't even shoot anymore. Machine shop is finished up. He's lifting the factories forward to build machine shop right there at the front. Siege mode on the way, siege tank on the way. It's going to be an ugly game from this point onwards. It just looks like Leebokgu has the absolute perfect unit composition, micro, and control and plan to repel the ROM, which is not easy. The ROM has a very strong Terran. It's very difficult to hold off a Terran of this level like this. This is highly impressive. I'm a little bit sad about the mind control tanks. We've been seeing them a lot more often in recent casts, where Protoss just feels the need to go for mind control Terran, because otherwise they cannot beat these high-level Terrans. It just looks like these high-level Terrans in late game are almost unbeatable unless you get mind control tanks. Without the tanks, it looks like it is impossible to beat these professional level Terrans in the late game. It just looks almost impossible to do. So I understand why Protosses are going for mind control, but it makes me a little bit sad because mind control with more supply is just unfair. But look at this, he's pushing him backwards with his strong carrier army. Goliaths coming in to snipe the carriers themselves. Body shots getting taken right on the liver. Carriers dying. Recalls tanks on the high ground. EMPs coming down all over the place, trying to hit those carriers and arbiters with the EMPs. Got some Goliaths in the choke point, but the tanks on the high ground are party pooping all over the place. Party pooping all over the place. It's absolutely taking away any chance that the ROM had. spellcasters for Protoss, carriers, arbiters. So cost efficient, so effective at stalling the game. Leebokgu bought himself enough time. Doromi couldn't push forward. This is the kind of Leebokgu that gives me nightmares. This is the kind of Leebokgu that gives me nightmares. Because this is the kind of Leebokgu that you simply cannot defeat. This is the kind of Leebokgu that looks unbeatable on defense. His attacks were not effective this game, but his defense is absolutely crazy. And I think the window of opportunity to beat Leebokgu is closing for Doromi. He's getting nukes. Actually, there might be a chance if he gets nukes off on this choke point on those tanks, he might just win the game. We have some observers already here, so finding a good window for a nuke might not be possible. Might not happen. It's really cool to see him going for nukes, but it might not work. It might not be possible. So he's pushing forward across the middle. Goliath's trying to buy time. We have ghosts on the middle with ocular implants for more ghost nuking range. Tanks are retreating. Ghosts running to safety, splitting up in different directions. They cannot get killed by the carriers. You might get some lockdowns as well, but there's no barracks in the base itself. And tanks have been recalled onto the high ground on the bottom corner, and there's going to be more tanks going for a nuke on those tanks. Leebokgu is looking for the nuke. He doesn't know where the nuke is. Actually, I think he saw the red dot there. I think he saw the red dot. I think there comes the nuke. We're going to get nukes on tanks. Boom, and down they go. Cleans out the bottom corner, but there's another Arbiter waiting for another recall. Coming in hot. Gonna drop right in his spot, and there is Reavers in a tank. And Zealous, he's just recalling whatever he can. On the middle fight happening. Goliaths are doing strongly against the carriers. Doing a really good job against the carriers. We have a big drop. Oh, this is his last chance to win the game. There's no Arbiter. There's Templars in the base. There's an Arbiter in the back. Starts to unload on the scene. Oh, it's gonna be a base trade. Leebokgu attacking the main. Attacking the main. Kills everything. Kills the probes. But there's 19,000 minerals in the bank for Leebokgu. And there's storms killing tanks. And here Doromi is losing his main base. Very valiant, courageous move. He recalled the carriers into the base, actually. This recalled carriers. He recalled them into the main base over his bottom corner. And he's killing all his stuff. Kills the command center. The probes are dead and gone, but as I said, 20,000 minerals, he's going to be just perfectly fine. Doromi, 3,000 minerals, not going to be perfectly fine. Having trouble getting his own Goliaths into the backside because everything is blocked. He's blocking his own units, and Goliaths are on the middle. It's going to be impossible to get in here. It's going to be impossible, and SCVs are dying rapidly because that's the only thing the carriers have to attack. Kill that one tank on the bottom corner. Has no upgrades. Valkyrie's coming in, Courser in the air, Arbiter has no energy for his stasis, goes down, there's one more in the back, that one has no energy either. Goliath's coming in, attacking wherever they can, they just can't walk through. Tanks on the high ground, disrupting everything, but they're gonna go down, but this does slow Doromi down a lot. And both players are running through their money, burning through their money really quickly, but Doromi has less of it, he's gonna burn through way quicker. And that is how this game is gonna end. That is how the game is going to end. Really well played from both of them. Really brave attack here from Doromi to try and snipe the Nexus with his own tanks. Didn't quite work out as well as he would have wanted. Only killed the probes and some cannons, nothing else. And Leebokgu with a recall onto the main command center. I just want to rewind a little bit and see the recall and make a screenshot for the thumbnail. Just want to see it happen. Because it looks really cool when it happens. It looks really cool. And oh boy, it's hot in this room. I'm gonna, like, when I'm done recording, I'm gonna move back to the living room because oh boy, it's hot. I'm sweating. I'm actually sweating. I'm drenched in sweat. All wet and sticky. Shiny. Okay, just pushing further across the middle. We have that big drop being prepared here from Doromi, picking up all of his tanks as they retreat. Very smart move. There's the nuke coming down here on the bottom corner. Beautiful nuke. Beautiful nuke. I'm glad to see a nuke happen. Doesn't happen often, but a nuke happened for sure. Oh, that's the tanks, the zealots, and the reaver. So let me just slow down a little bit. Let's select those carriers. I just want to see it happen. It looks really cool. And now you see the interceptors flying back like this. It looks so cool. It looks so amazing. And that is the game. That is the game. So yeah, thank you for watching. It was RGB for RGB TV. It was just one game. It was just one game, but this was a very good game. A lot of action, a lot of highly strategic moves, compositions, and decisions happening all over the place, making incisions in their operations to try and win the game. But in the end, it was Leebokgu taking a victory out of the hands of Doromi with a good recall. See you next time.